Winfield.
Well, there's the England team in the tunnel. Andy Harriman, who's had such a terrific tournament. He hasn't been on the losing side yet because he didn't play against Western Samoa or against the Australians in the quarter-final pool. A real sevens specialist. His only cap at 15s was against Australia in 1988, and England won on that day as well. Michael Lynagh, the world record point scorer in international rugby, leads out the Australians. A repeat then of the World Cup final proper. There's the England lineup. Dallaglio, Rodber, Sheasby will be the forwards. Adebayo, Beale, Harriman and Scully the backs. Dodds there, the reserve, is in for Hopley, who's injured and will take no part. And the Australians have made a change from the semi-final. Burke, Ofahengaue, Taupiafi, Fenwick, and then Constable comes in for Flett, Campese and Lynagh. Patrick Robin from France will referee, and the touch judges Derek Bevan and Ray Megson. Remember, it's 10 minutes each way. That's all they need after such a grueling tournament, but England getting it underway. Good cool work by Nick Beale holding on to that, and they worked it loose. They were under pressure, but now they're in the open spaces. Out to Harriman. Will he just try and take Campese? Yes, he will, and he's done it. Constable going across to try and get him, but Harriman's got the legs on everybody. What a start for England. A try under the post by their captain.
What a great start. The Prince is flying, and that's just the start England needed. The kickoffs are so important in sevens, as we always say. They won the ball cleanly, they moved it wide. Harriman looked at Campo and thought, well, come on, Campo, let's see if you can catch me. And guess what? He can't.
Really well played by England. They were under enormous pressure down in the other corner, and they got out of that with some confident handling and pushed it wide. And David Campese's not the fastest man in the world. He's a brilliant runner, but on a straight run with Harriman, he had no chance. Nick Beale makes the conversion. Les Cusworth knows there's an awful long way to go, though. England 7, Australia 0. The restart, good kick-off. Sheasby, though, gets to it. Scully. Beale is in trouble there against Taupiafi, but he gets the ball away again beautifully. Scully. Harriman. Kick and chase. Now, can he get past Campese again? Drags him down. Campese's got a release. Adebayo in. Sheasby there. A little knock forward, though, from Chris Sheasby.
Unlucky there, Chris Sheasby. He's had a great tournament for England. And if he had a little nudge forward there, I think it might have been a second score.
Australia won 21-12 in the quarter-final pool, but England were really keeping their powder dry then. Harriman rested, and Tim Rodber, who's such an immense physical presence in this side. Sheasby the hooker against Rodber. Taupiafi was lucky there, the ball went backwards. Get back 10 metres, says the referee. Lynagh back into Ofahengaue. The big man trying to use his power, but he was held. Australia still have it. There's a bit of space out there now. Constable can go. Sheasby got across, though, and did very well to bring him down. Beale has Campese, the knock forward, and Sheasby. Constable will get in, but he's got support, and Dallaglio goes in. England's second try. They kept the pressure on, and Australia made the mistake.
They certainly did, John, but I'll tell you, there have been mistakes made all tournament against these young England boys because they tackle hard and they don't let you go around them and they snap up loose ball just like that. And when they do, they've got big, powerful guys with pace. And there's two of them. What a start for England.
Sheesby, the Harlequin, to Dallaglio, the Wasp. Neither of them have won caps. But a tremendous performance. Dallaglio lives on a houseboat on the Thames. There he is, just 20 years old. What a future he's got. The conversion was good, 14-0. Scully again. England clearing that initial kick-off so well every time. And Beale suddenly finds the pace to go round Liner. He's got Rodber inside. Harriman got support on the outside too, but Rodber could go all the way himself. In he goes. A great run by the big man. There's nearly 17 stone of him, and he can sprint like that.
Well, this is classic sevens. Australia have kicked off 3 times. England have caught the ball and scored 3 times. And here we see it again from deep in their own 22. Nick Beale's had a great tournament. He's very elusive. Harriman's cut off. He comes inside. It was Sheesby and Dallaglio last time. This time Robin said, don't forget me, I can run as well. And he does.
Tremendous run for the big man. He won 2 caps in 1992 at number 8. And then Dean Richards came back into the team.
But John, all 3 forwards are big guys and they're young and they've all got pace, and playing against teams like Fiji and Western Samoa, they did really well.
Bob Dwyer, well, he said after the semi-final, they'll have to change the old saying about the luck of the Irish to the luck of the Aussies, but I think he knows now that they've got to do something or that luck will have run out. Rodber with the tap. Scully gathers it cleanly, gives it to Beale. And he decides on that occasion that safety is the best option.
A bit disappointing, really, no try from that kickoff.
And the Australians have only once had the ball. Throw in from Burke. Off a Hengawi at the front, Fenwick at the back. Back to Burke. Scully nips around the blind side, but the obstruction penalty is given. Liner gets on with it quickly. Constable trying to break through in the middle. Oh, and he's robbed in the tackle by Sheesby, by Dallaglio, in fact. And Scully decides he'd better put it away, but another penalty. Holding the man. Liner takes it again. Burke. Centre normally plays hooker in sevens. Oh, and Liner was so nearly through. Well, the referee sending England back 10 metres. Liner tries to go himself. Not given. He held it in. Well, if he's going to hold it in there, that should have been a penalty to England.
Absolutely, but really, John, you've had 3 penalties given against you. The Australians should be scoring on the amount of possession they've got there, and they didn't. That's a big blow to them.
Liner, with all his experience, taking the wrong option, trying to go himself. And Nick Beale puts it away. England still under pressure. 8 minutes gone. These 10-minute halves, incredibly long. Especially, you have to remember, this is the 10th game of sevens these teams have played over 3 days. Scully in trouble. Beale just leaps in, and he caught a boot as well as the ball there, and that was painful.
But the 21 points up, and he eats up the clock. He can stay down there, have a rest. It's their put in. He's been a real find of the tournament, this lad, John, hasn't he?
He's been a real find for the game. There's Bob Dwyer, tucked up. He reckons that watching sevens is one of the worst occupations he can think of. If you're the manager, you can't do anything, and it's so much a chancy game. England edge a bit closer to safety. Dave Scully, who's had a terrific tournament, the little scrum half from Wakefield. Beale, it's hard to believe, was playing for High Wycombe just a couple of seasons ago. Went to Northampton last season. He's made a big impression there in his first year. And here he is starring on the world stage at sevens.
Incredible, isn't it? High Wycombe one day, playing against the world champions the next.
But as Ireland found, this game is never over till it's over, and the Aussies will hang on in there. They know they're capable of scoring 3 times in the last 5 minutes if necessary. Beale goes, bumps into his own man, but there was no obstruction. But they went over the top of the ball in the tackle. Constable out to Fenwick. Kempesi goes on a run. 2 against 1 over there, unless Dallaglio can get across and tackle Willie O. He does it. And a penalty against Dallaglio. The decision quite correct. The tackler, as well as the man tackled, have to regain their feet before they can take any further part. And Liner going back on the short side. Willie O with the big crash, but the tackle was big. Well, did that bounce forward? No, says the referee. Try to Australia. Michael Liner in at the corner.
And really it had to come. They've been pinned in their own 22 for 3 or 4 minutes now, and believe you me, that's a long time in sevens. The referee giving a stream of penalties. Liner made the wrong choice last time, but he made the right choice this time. Bit of luck, but it went backwards. It was correct. Here we see it again, knocked out of his arm, but it went backwards, and the try was rightly given.
Another big tackle by the English boys. They were unlucky there. And Liner, knowing that he needs one of those great conversions, he's looking at it. No, just slides it past the post, and that means Australia are still 3 scores behind. Patrick Roumain blows the whistle for half-time. England 21, Australia 5. Well, Steve, 10 minutes still to go, and England have looked much more convincing when they're going for scores. I just hope they don't try and sit back on it.
There's always a danger, Joe, when you get 21 points up in any game, but especially a World Cup final. They've just got to settle now, and an early score would do them a world of good.
Beale with the restart. Sheesby goes up for it, and England have it again. Scully, Adebayo, Scully. Beale trying to get away, held that time. Harriman can't get away from Burke, but he does get his pass away. Sheesby. Well, that was a hospital pass to Scully. Liner decides to go back inside. Arthur Hengawi crashed to the floor by Rodva. 2 against 1 out here now. Burke. But Harriman's onto him. Talpiafi inside, and away comes Adebayo. Rodva takes the tackle, but manages to get the ball back. Beale. Now, can they turn him over? That's great work by the England team. It was odds on against them coming up with the ball there, but they did it. Adebayo going through. The little pass to Sheesby. Suddenly there's room. Dallaglio, and he's got Harriman looping around the outside. Dallaglio left the pass too long. Suddenly it's the Australians who are on the attack. Back inside to Rodva. And Sheesby going back with Campese. And Sheesby too tired to really put on the pressure. Constable's back with Campese. This is where the Australian winger is so dangerous in a broken field. Burke losing the ball forward. And still those tackles going in.
What a fantastic passage of play. These guys on that pitch, they're absolutely exhausted. That must have been 2 minutes non-stop play. It went from one end to the other. The England tackling held out, then they broke away. Delalio didn't see Harriman outside him. And now they're taking a rest.
Campese, now 30 years old. But he's just announced that he intends to go on at least until after the next World Cup in 1995, which is great news. Playing in Italy at the moment, of course, for his winter side. Plays all the year round, plays the winter, the European winter in Italy for Mediolana Milan, and then goes back to Australia. Sheesby in trouble. They're trying to make him go off. He doesn't want to. They're saying he can't have any more time, so Sheesby says, I'm fine. You're not keeping me out of this one. Scully to Beale, trying to stop Taupiapi before going round him, but the little Tongan in the Australian side is a very canny player. He's only 20 now. He was capped for Tonga when he was just 16 years old. That's him feeding the scrum. Number 4. Liner looping round. Fenwick to Campese. Willie O down the middle. Cross comes Delalio, Taupiapi. And back come the England boys again. Burke tries to get round the outside. Got the pass inside, and that was just as good. Little nudge forward.
One thing you can never do is underestimate Australians in any sport, especially rugby union.
And we're coming up to midway through the half. England still 3 scores ahead. Oh, and Beale goes down. The referee said that wasn't obstruction at all. And Campese takes the opportunity. The goose step, and he's gone. Well, England hesitating for a moment, waiting for the penalty. And Campese was given that little bit of room he wanted.
Well, it's not often the Scottish crowd cheers the opposition when they're playing against England, or boos them, may I say, and I must admit, if that wasn't a late tackle. Anyway, let it go, and Campo takes the opportunity. Here he goes, he chips over, now it's a foot race. It's all over by the shouting now, but really, the England boys stopped and waited for the penalty, which I must admit, John, I thought should have been given.
It's one thing you never do, and further bad news for England. Tim Rodwell limping off, who's been so influential, but Justin Cassell is the man waiting to come on. Michael Liner now with the conversion. It's a good effort, but it's wide of the left post. So, the difference now between the sides, 11 points. England 21, Australia 10. 4.5 minutes left. And Cassell, number 1, is on for Tim Rodber. These Australians are tough old dogs. They hang on in there. And England now going to have to go right to the wire. They really need another score.
And they didn't need that. They didn't need a poor kick-off there. Scrum down now, Australian put in. They'll get possession again. England needs some ball.
At one stage, it looked odds on as if it would be an England versus Ireland final, but Australia came through, and here they come through again. Away goes Willie O. Cassell gets to him. And Topiapi knocks forward. There were a few sighs of relief, I'm sure, from the England team when that happened.
Sad to see Tim Rodwell go off, but it's a fresh pair of legs there, really told, because Cassell's caught the man up and tackled him in a very dangerous situation.
Peter Fenwick, the big Sydney stockbroker, son of Peter Fenwick, who captained the Australians back in the 50s. Scully gets it away. Beale decides. But territory is more important than possession.
That is exactly what I would have done myself.
3 minutes to go. Burke off a Hangawi, got a touch. Fenwick finished it off. Constable to Campese. Liner chipping through. And Constable looks quick, but Scully coming across does very well and keeps his head. Gets it back to his captain. Been very impressed with Dave Scully, Steve.
Well, David Scully of Wakefield in Yorkshire has been a real find in this whole tournament. He's played the sweeper role, which is difficult. He's been tenacious in his tackling, and his sweeping cup, as we saw there, has been first class.
2 minutes to go. There's Justin Cassell. Sheesby tries to get a hand in, but Liner has it. Campese. Round the outside goes Ryan Constable. That's the difficulty, but they get him again. Looked for a moment as if he was through. And there's the big tackle. That's the one they've been looking for, but he's stepped out of it. And now they've got an overlap. Willie O going straight for it. Topiapi juggles with it. It's a try. The two Tongans combining there to put Australia right back in it.
It had to come. It looked for a minute that England had stamped it out. They did some great tackling, but then they let the man out of the tackle. And you can't do it against world champions Australia. Willie O's been here before. Good ball skills, good juggling. Where's the line? Where's the line? There it is.
Topiapi, who's been in Australia since he was 3 years old, but he went back to Tonga for a couple of years in his teens and was at the same school as Willie O there. Michael Liner puts over the kick. And England now just have a 4-point lead. It's 21-17. Just a few seconds to go. Will there be time for the restart even? Australia are going to have to run this all the way back. We know they're capable of doing it. That's exactly what they did against Ireland. This is important. Goes into touch. A knock forward though by the Australians, and that's it! England, who won the first World Tournament here in 1973, have done it again. That lead